No, I'm not trying to send you a high five, but anyway, high five. But this right here, these magical things that we have are called hands, okay? Beautiful hands here, and they can be your best styling tool. Now, as someone who's worked on thousands and thousands of clients over the years, probably over a 30+ year span of working on hair and seeing clients, I've kind of mastered tricks and ways to use my hands alone to create hairstyles and to shape hair and to use them for creating things that sometimes even brushes can't even do. So I just want to make a disclaimer. I'm not saying like brushes are bad or you should stop using brushes, and because a lot of times I even myself need a brush, and if you're not a hairbrush user, you don't know how to do it, you never use them, you think they're going to damage your hair, I have a range of brushes on my channel, on my store, shop.thesalonguy.com, that my round brushes were, custom made to my liking, to have the benefits of the ceramic, the ionic technology, so it's going to help your hair as far as dry it quicker, smoother hair, less damage to your hair, more heat protection. So, brushes are great, and you need them for a lot of different things. However, if you are somebody who wants to utilize your hands more for achieving hairstyles, then I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks that I've learned. So let's start with wavy hair. I'm just going to step aside here and pull this mannequin right here. All right, we've all seen a lot of these mannequin heads before here, and what I'm going to do is just kind of break down what I would suggest doing when it comes to wavy or curly hair. So with this type of hair texture, especially if you're trying to get more waves, or even if you have straight hair and you want to, this mannequin head actually is 100% straight hair. The way I cut it and the way I scrunched it, the products I used, that's what was able to get this type of look. Tidal Wave, my sea salt spray, my #1 bestseller, is probably the best product for trying to enhance your waves. When it comes to what you do with your hands, with wavy hair, curly hair even, but even straight hair, what you want to do is scrunch. So imagine if you're just taking your hands and just making them into like a scrunching fist like this. This is actually a technique that you can use for styling hair to try to enhance texture, waves, create waves, all that stuff. So what do you do, especially if your hair's longer? You can take the hair like this, let it settle into your hands, and scrunch. So you're gonna lift and scrunch, okay? So you're gonna take the hair in your hands, and then you're gonna scrunch. And then what you can do is, what's gonna happen, especially when the hair is damp, it's gonna kind of bring the hair together and create like a pattern. Then you're gonna let go, and you could see it's creating some waves right in through here, all right? It's adding texture. So it's scrunching and releasing, scrunching and releasing. Anytime you've seen people who have curly or wavy hair doing this, what you're doing is you're just adding lift and you're adding texture, okay? So the scrunching technique is really amazing for creating, waves and a little bit of movement throughout the hair, especially if your hair is pin straight. The next one is, as we get more toward traditional haircuts or, shorter hairstyles and stuff like this, this is where the hands really, really come in handy. So let's just say you want a hairstyle to have a little more texture. So at the top, so this is really, really flat up here, right? As you can see, so it's super flat. What do you do to get more texture? Well, utilizing your fingertips is going to be awesome for this. So I see a lot of times people, when they style their hair, short hair, especially men, they go like this. I've seen it, they go in the mirror, they go, oh yeah, I like this. And what they're doing is they're just basically petting their head and collapsing all of that volume. And it happens really quickly. So watch this. If I were to put some texture, this is what happens. Look, instantly deflates it and brings it down flatter to your head. So what you need to do is actually try to mess up your hair, and you're gonna do like kind of a raking motion like this, all right? And what this is gonna do, it's gonna actually create a base, almost like you're teasing the base of the hair, and it's creating like a cushion. And as you can see what that does, let's just turn to the side here, look at all that volume and movement it's created, all because I'm doing this. Now this has to be done on dry hair, because if it's done on wet hair, it's not gonna work, okay? So it has to be done on dry hair. So it's literally just taking the palm of your hand even like this, try to mess it up, that works great too. Or even your fingers like this and trying to like almost like you're scrubbing your scalp, and then you're going to be able to piece it more like that and get a lot more volume. The next one, like I just kind of mentioned, is the one where you take your hand and your palm and you create circles like this. This works really well if you are looking to even have like more of the TikToker type of hairstyle where you can kind of create a cushion and bring it back, push forward like this. But for hairstyles that are just more of a, you know, even if this was shorter like this, going in and creating more circular motion like this and trying to mess it up, it's going to give that base some support that's going to help really give instant volume. Look how much volume that is there already, just from creating a cushion here throughout the base. This works great on fine hair, works great on thicker hair. Sometimes I know people, oh, it doesn't work, I tried it, doesn't work. If you have like super pin straight, like Asian hair or, you know, ethnic hair that's just heavy and tons of it, and it's super silky and super flat, it's gonna help. But if your hair is something like this, right, like this length, and you do these little things like this, yes, it'll help. It'll definitely help. You can see we created some texture right there, but the hair just may be too long for certain things to do that, okay? So the messy kind of trying to mess it up more works great on shorter hair, okay? Now, when it comes to longer hairstyles like this, a lot of times people try to get that flow. They'll go in with a comb and try to rake their hair back to try to see the layers more. When honestly, when I do haircuts, and I even show off my haircuts, what I do is I take my fingers like this, I start at the base, and I actually rake this way. So you're keeping the fingers kind of right alongside and following the head shape, and you're raking back, and then watch what happens. You kind of work the hair and move it a little bit, and now all of a sudden, we have some layers here. All right? Now, this also does rely heavily on the haircut, because if you have a haircut that has no layers, it's just gonna fall flat. However, you can make the hair look like it's a bit more layered, even if it isn't. If this comes all the way down to here, you wanna make it look a little bit shorter. The raking motion works really well. And what you could also do is you can rake this back, and while you do it, you can take one of my hairsprays and spray lightly, and then these layers are going to stay in place. They're gonna stay put, and you're gonna get that nice feathered look. Remember, this is all being done on dry hair. These are finishing techniques. So you're gonna definitely have to use them while you're doing some finishing. Now, if you're blow drying your hair, and say you want to create a little bit of volume, and I've done other like hands-on videos of this type of technique, what you want to do is, and this could be done while the hair is damp, while you're blow drying your hair, you could actually take your hand and push the hair forward like this and blow dry it. And the air from the blow dryer and the heat is gonna actually, you're gonna create like a wall here. And that's gonna give you just a ton of volume. It's almost like you're ironing in the hair. You're not damaging your hair or anything, but you're just using your hand as a tool. Another way we can do is you're cupping. So what I like to do, if you want to create like a really big arch right in the front here, you're going to take the hand and you're going to cup it like this, just like that. You're just holding that hair right there, so I can see. See, you're holding it right here like a cup, right? So you're just taking it and almost like pinching like this. And what this is going to do is going to give you, it's like a little trick, it's going to give you just a little bit of an arch right in through here. So you're kind of setting in somewhat of like a little wave or wall right here, right? And this really, really works well right in that very front. So it's kind of a little more targeted, but again, I'm using the hands. Yes, you can do this with like a vent brush or something like that, but like if you're just trying to use your hands, you can do that. The longer the hair, the more difficult, but as long as you can get a good grasp on it like this, so you see the back of the hair is under here this way. And when you blow dry that in, you can see the hair is gonna actually blow up, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, and then you let go, and you're gonna have this nice like voluminous arch right here in the front. All right, so that's another great technique as far as using your hands for creating some volume. Another thing, and then lastly, if you're looking to kind of create some sort of waves or twists or things like that, you can do this while the hair is damp and you can actually make some twists like this, right? This actually needs to be done when the hair is damp, and also I probably have some tidal wave in here, and you're gonna make a lot of twists, right? And you're gonna spray some tidal wave, just probably one spray, right? Like one spray in your whole head, and then start doing this with the hair damp. You're gonna make twists. I know, yes, oh, it takes a long time, but you're taking kind of thicker sections, and if you do this rapidly, you can actually have it done relatively quick. You can even do like, you know, two sections at the same time. You can do multiple twists like this, you can see. And what this is gonna do is after you dry your hair, or let it air dry, you can do that scrunching thing. You can kind of lightly run your fingers through it to break up that pattern, and all of a sudden you're gonna have some texture and a little bit of light wave or movement to it. So it's just creating spirals in your hair with your hands. And I know a lot of times people, you know, want to have wavy hair or get a bit more of that instant texture. You have to be a little more patient with this because you have to let it dry into place. You can even do this overnight where you set your hair like that, just go to sleep with your hair, let it dry. When you wake up, you're gonna be like, whoa. And then you just kind of lightly brush it out with your fingers and give it a little like shake like this, and the hair's gonna fall into place. But you're gonna be kind of shocked on how much movement you have. So the hands right here, again, coming from someone, I know I'm gonna get the typical comment from the 14-year-old, oh, but you're bald, what do you know about that? I mean, again, if you're new to my channel, I've been a hairstylist over 30 years, probably longer than that person commenting has even been alive. So I know a thing or two about doing hair and stuff. So the hands are a great tool. Let me know in the comments below if you found this video helpful, if you've used some of these techniques and you're excited to try them, or you want to share any tips that you use, it'll be great. And if you want to purchase any of my products, use code YouTube20, that's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.